Well, both of these teams certainly want this win. It's important to be racking up those points throughout the season. Avant currently second last place. Lowkey at the middle of the pack. Lowkey want to distinguish themselves, assure themselves a spot among the top, which I think a lot of people would be impressed if Lowkey could break into the likes of August and Fnatic and Oddity up the top. Certainly in their sights right now, and it all starts with this win over Avant if they can make it happen. Lowkey taking out the Glass, Avant taking out the Bok. Now Lowkey for the defensive bans. Now Bok banned from Avant. Not something you see every day, but certainly I do expect, you know, when you ban a Bok, you have a clear idea of the purpose of that ban. And okay, wow, I love this. Avant banning Bok and Pulse together, so really not so keen on the on that vertical play from either side, attack or defense.
Yeah, as we get into it, and some interesting attacker bans here. I think the Bok is a very strong ban because of how destructible.
Yeah, and the Pulse exact same, right? As for the defense, looks like Aviated Games, or AVG as we call it, is the first bomb site to be taken. 4 what? Every single defensive operator with an ACOG being taken. My gosh.
Why not?
What are you doing?
Because why not?
I'm actually surprised. If you're going to be taking that many ACOGs, surely you'd open up that wall that Copper's just reinforced in the vault. Make yourself a rotation into 90, because of course, playing at 90, you can use your ACOGs for the long angles on both of the hallways, both long and short, I guess you would call them. I'm not sure if other people have different calls for that site, but yeah. I think it's going to come down a lot to how effective, how on point the Avant players are. If they can manage to
10 seconds left
land their shots when it's needed with these ACOGs, then that'll certainly be a help out. Hunting drones at the moment, a lot of the Avant players are like this. Very prepared to just hunt down and deny as much intel as possible. From
roaming do you reckon we're going to see out of these ACOG?
I'd expect a fair amount, particularly on that east side of the map. North side of the map, contesting for potentially as long as possible. If Lowkey does attempt to push that side, it looks like that's where the two GIGN brothers are. But now, anyhow.
Fisho trying to go for his ACOG spawn peak. He's not going to find anyone. Bit of a late peak though, as well.
I think it's all about keeping that pressure on at this point. It's not actually about the peak itself. No. Casper playing on the window outside of 90. Good position, but he's going to be contesting defenders who have ACOGs. And, well, defenders certainly can do a lot of damage in those positions.
That wall wasn't real. Of course, that would have been a dead Luna. But, Fisho still sitting there. Well, very
attackers have located a bomb.
Patient game by the defense. They're not getting antsy here. Holding their angles. Playing very patiently. Waiting for Lowkey to reveal their hand and slowly come to them.
More and more drones being denied so far just by the good drone hunting work from Avant. And I think that Mangoes would prefer to be playing the Bok. That's my assumption here, going below, but he's making do with a Zephyr.
Yeah, usually could go help him on Jackal if he so chooses, but instead he's going to be shot through the wall. Yeah, JC is going to take out Flossie there. That's the first kill of the round. JC is nuts. He has just been so good for this Lowkey lineup so far. Moving that Legion off the board.
Still Luna, ready to peek onto this. She's been spotted out by the drone from Muesli, and now shots raining down from outside. She might have seen one in study.
Yeah, she did.
The play was right there.
Too much aggression being put on her right now. She's under way too much pressure. She's going to be shot in the side by Muesli, though, as Copper also takes out Casper. Fisho finds JC, though, in reply, and we are slowly running out of members as Fisho guy gets himself a double now. Only 2 members of Lowkey left. Bundy manages to find one. Copper trades him back. It's all up to Bundy now. He's got the Thermite. He's got the 5.56. He has Diffuser. He has all the tools available to him. 1v2.
38 seconds. Plenty of time for him to work with, but he has to take these 2 1 versus 1s. Not landing those shots is essential. Copper needs to make sure he doesn't lose these long fights. It's so essential for the defense. They don't get picked off one by one. They have to work together. Now Bundy baiting out this plant. Will he find anything of it?
Needs to go for it. I think he needs to hold it. He can force it. Force it behind the reinforced wall. Now they know where he is. He's running out of time. 9 seconds. He has to go for the frags at this point. Copper's going to trade him out. And Avant pick up round number 1.
Certainly back and forth. And for a few moments, I actually thought that Lowkey, with their Jackal and with their ACOGs, were the ones to take that. But no, in fact, Avant, confident on their peaks through and through. And some strong decision-making as well. Got to commend Copper. He knew when to stop peeking. When to stop peeking through that long hallway and go and retreat in that 2 versus 1.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Bundy stick that plant. Right? Like, he could have gone to the reinforced wall, stuck the plant, and then he would have been able to just sit back and let the defenders come to him. Of a bit more of a cruisy round after that plant, but instead he decides to go for the frags.
Now on the second defense, heading downstairs, which isn't something... Oh.
And normally it's statue areas.
Yeah, I mean, typically you go the 2 upstairs and then you come down here. Now, this is, I'd say, still a good bomb site, and I personally do... I actually prefer defending this bomb site to the statuary bomb site. I just find it to be a lot more dynamic. You have a lot more options from the defensive side, especially as a roamer.
Considering we've lost Buck, bomb site could become a lot stronger.
That's a strong point, and look, no sledge being played as well, so maybe that's a great read from Avant. Maybe a great point of decision, landing that Buck and favouring this downstairs bomb site. Lowkey perhaps not reading into it quite well enough. They do have some soft breach, but perhaps not enough to do what they need to do. Perhaps they're not as prepared for attacking this bomb site. I like Avant's chances so far. They seem to be well prepared. And they've switched off of those ACOG operators, so it's not simply a comfort pick. They're very prepared to bring whatever tools they need for the specific job and bomb site that's at hand.
That's it. Like, Avant have been very, very dynamic with their operator. Right? They've been chopping and changing who's on what, and they haven't been forced into roles. Like, everyone's played every operator. And it's just something really great to see from them. Those teams that can swap and change the roles and swap and change the operators generally find the most success on them because they're comfortable across the site, and then they also know what is from every other player.
Good intel as well upstairs. Luna placing out those cameras as we saw earlier. Upstairs will be the first point of contention, it looks like, for Lowkey. You know, when you just can't decide which one to go for and you end up screwing it up. It's like Guzhins.
Hey man, but Guzhin's caught on.
He did. I don't think Lowkey will.
You never know. Let's get it going, guys. Lowkey in chat.
I don't think they'll be so keen on that one. Nonetheless, that's top floor control. But as you mentioned, Buck being gone, all of that destructive power will fall onto both Muesli and Mango's. 2 M's on the Lowkey roster. This hatch also opened up now by Bundy, forcing the downstairs defenders to play a little bit further back. Now with half the round remaining, just under, where will Lowkey decide to push?
They haven't really put together a well-formed attack yet, have they? Like, there's not a clear objective in sight. There's not a plant location.
Yeah, I think that the idea is that, you know, take top floor, right? And then you open up holes and you kill people on site, and then you go and you take site. But the thing is, Avant are playing quite smartly there, just playing evasively, trying not to get picked. Vicious fails at that, but still, I can't blame them too much. It's pretty late in the round, and then the 2 roamers, Visho and Copper, start dealing some damage. Yeah, these 2 roamers could flank upstairs if they wish, or they could retake site. There's only so much that Lowkey can accomplish.
Yeah, Luna's getting aggressive on the holds. There is there. Some of it just yet. Hear people drop and come down from the sides. There's Fisher guy in support in front of her.
Ooh, Fisho attempting fire with the SMG, but I believe his position now revealed because of that. Luna are also playing safe. A direct trade. How many of those have we seen today? Fisho and JC. Luna completely aware of where the players are coming from. Flossie finds one. Just Luna And Flossie left! Sorry, Copper as well. He jumps into the fray, trading back his teammate. Avant holding strong, 2 successful defense wins.
Yeah, very, very good defense from Avant. I'm really enjoying the patience coming out of Avant here. They're playing patiently. Is rewarding them. They're not getting antsy. They're not unnecessarily picking fights. They're waiting for the attackers to put themselves in a compromising position before they, take those crossfire.
I think it's great. It shows some good reads from Avant, whereas Lowkey, is very standard. It's okay, we take the top floor. And they did a great job taking the top floor. Like, it did take them quite a while, a whole minute to take the top floor when there are no people defending up there, maybe a bit slow, but I can't fault them for that. They got the job done. And then it's open up holes on the floor. Well, they're already at a disadvantage because they have no sledge and the buck is banned. So, next step, try and get picks to the floor. Now, they eventually did find that, but when they did find that pick through the floor, it was just so late in the round, and the roam, it was already at the point where Lowkey needed to be starting to push site as well as having picks. And at that point, Avant's roamers were ready to flank and be in unpredictable positions because the roamers weren't fully contained. Now, if you had an operator such as a Dokkaebi, maybe that style of play from Avant would have been more difficult. I would say the most effective operator against Avant's style of play would be a Lion, but, Lion removed from play for obvious reasons. He's just the best operator in a lot of cases. But nonetheless, gotta commend Avant so far on the way that they have been defending. Always bringing the right tools for the job at hand. And now they defend upstairs in the trophy and statue.
They certainly are. They're what would be considered stock standard secondary.
Worry about Fisher, guy. I think that contesting these default points is actually something that Avant should shy away from and instead play into that predictable play that Lowkey tend to be going for and only contest what's needed. Oh, Fisher finally opens up his rotate. I love this. Fisher is an excellent mute player. He knows he can roam safely and not be wasting the utility of, say, as a smoke. But on top of that, Fisher guy has the SMG-11 to deal damage, which we've seen is very good at, and the shotgun to make himself rotates. Love seeing it.
Yeah, it's good. Mute getting that SMG-11 really opened up. He was a very versatile operator. Gave him a lot more use. Being able to take that shotgun instead of the MP5K. And had him to just become a lot more versatile.
Have located a bomb.
Always a good.
Good use of the IQ scanner and communication to take down that Valkyrie camera. Mangoes and Casper working in conjunction. And the south side push starting to mount up in conjunction with this master bedroom take. Now the question is, how will Bundy open up this wall if there's Avant players prepared to impact trigger from the other side? I don't believe that LK have a solution. Flossie ready. Oh, but he misses the thermite charge. Will he get the second one? No. He defaults back into astronomy now. Retaking the bathroom, however, Luna goes down to Bundy, but Flossie's allowed to get very aggressive upstairs. Mangoes as well, very keen to push into the B-bomb site. Oh, but Fisher guy on the long angle. What a shot from the mute player. We've commended him before, and he's stepping it up now. But here the trades continue to issue back and forth. 3 versus 3 with 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's starting to get down to the crux of it. All tied up 3-3, she said. She's picked himself up a smoke kill before. Pretty powerful for himself. And I think they're just sort of covering off the defender at this point. They know it's down. Just need to protect it. Vicious almost on a pre-fire. Puts out a couple of shots. This is everything coming of it. Flossie, though, is going to get the flank kill onto Casper. Going to leave it now 2-3. Muesli's going, Mangoes is going to drop Vicious. Copper's going to trade it back. JC picks up Flossie now. A 1 versus 1. JC versus Copper. Who is going to take this out? They're on opposite sides. JC is in control of the fuse. He's going to plant. Copper's getting aggressive here. Copper and back. Can he do it? Pre-fire down. He manages to get him just as the fuse gets planted. Copper and back is going to get the defuse. And Avant are going to pick up round number 3.
1 bullet left in the 416 as well. That pre-fire almost the end of him. What sensitivity is that, Copper? My goodness. That's not appropriate.
So,
Great job from Copper on that 1v1.
Fun fact: Rin used to play on 2000.
Yeah, he also plays with a Microsoft keyboard. Like, nothing against Microsoft, but like, you know, like a non-gaming keyboard, like a membrane keyboard. You know, like the kind of one that just comes with that, you know, $50 PC you buy at Officeworks. And, you know, we made jokes about, like, stealing it and throwing it out, but I think you just go and buy another one, honestly.
If you're that good with this I mean, why not?
Oh, yeah, gotta say.
But
impressive stuff. Just like Avant so far, and it looks like rebringing that 4 ACOG stat, quadruple ACOG strategy from Avant on Aviator Games Room.
It really is something they like.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for them
so
well so far. Yeah, certainly been a strong performance overall from Avant. We've been commending them a lot. Got to say a few things about Lowkey. Lowkey, my goodness, Lowkey.
It's a thing now, boys. Don't worry about it. Lowkey's a thing. Let it happen, Dev.
You got to give credit to Lowkey where it's due. I've got to say they seem to have some nice, you know, simple strategies outlined. They take control of this area, push in. You know, they're individually well organized. They have good team play. They make good call outs to each other and use their utility as a team. But the thing is that they're just being read. And when in Rainbow Six, when another team knows exactly what you're going to do, knows exactly how you're going to play, then they'll always be one step ahead of you. That's what we're seeing from Avant against Lowkey.
I'll let it slide one day, yeah.
Oh gosh.
But no, so Lowkey, they really have their work cut out for them now. 0-3 down. Avant really want to show. Everyone that they're not meant to be as far down on the ladder as they are right now. Rook's going to get scanned out. Fisher Guy's going to be feeling very uncomfortable.
I don't know whether this is just a really good, like, whether Avant have voted this, but every single time that Lowkey are attacking, they're going for vertical play. Look, you can see right now, the Jackal. You can see Mango's looking to drone himself in downstairs.
Yeah.
Every single attack, aside from that statuary attack, every time.
The Buck,
it's been vertical, and that Buck ban
has been. Yeah. The Buck ban has been massive. I don't think
even more than that. More than just the operator Buck being banned, but just the idea that Avant know that this vertical play is so important to Lowkey, and that Avant are prepared to expect that and take that down. Now, some good adaptations, I think, from Lowkey so far. This impact trick unsuccessful again for the defense, and that's a gaping hole opened up in the bomb site for Lowkey to exploit.
Not really what you want, but Mango is now starting to come out with some shells from below. But Flossie is going to nail the head of JCZ right there. Very dead Thatcher, but Bundy's going to trade Flossie straight back. Up from back, going to have to juice himself up.
Luna, the lone player on site. She has the ACO to help out. It looks like Lowkey forming up together, looking to push the hallway. Luna likely aware of this, contesting this very shallow anchor. She hears... Oh no, is she going to find it? She peeks out and takes down Bundy. Copper as well, finding Casper. Mango's down on the floor. Where are Lowkey? Are they even in the server? Mango's picking himself up, but he needs to put the team on his shoulders as well, because he's the last man standing, and Luna shuts him down. What a performance from the only woman in the ANZ Pro League.
Yeah. Oh, shot. Luna has been a very solid rock for Avant game.
Yeah, just completely fulfilling her responsibility on site as that lone anchor, and it really can be scary being that lone anchor on the bomb site. When your teammate dies, Flossie was taken out and she just held her own.
When I was a coach and I was coaching Shade, I used to put that man on mirror. Right, he was my anchor. Right, he played on site and he just side anchor. And Shade is a very, very good shot. And you have a good fragger on an anchor, That is scary.
Attackers need to
Yeah,
locate
people
and
really
defuse any
don't
bomb.
realize how much a strong anchor player needs to have good aim, and how much
Bomb located
you put
by
someone who's good at creative angles, good at just nailing their aim on an anchor position, and they will just do the job, and then surprise you on top of that. Luna's been doing that. As you mentioned, Shade. I'd also like to shout out Strider from GRU. He's particularly strong, just anchor, finding frags. Joey as well for Orgless. Like these guys. Even no. I can't say this without expressing Warden, who we saw earlier tonight from Mind Freak on the SMG11 on Smoke.
Yep.
Just put your fragger on an anchor position. Just make him hold steady. Just one that's confident.
Anchors are the players that are going to end up in the most clutch situations. Right? They're going to end up in the 1v2, 1v3s, the 1v1. Right? They're the ones who are going to end up in those clutch situations. Put your best fragger on the anchor, because then they're going to win those. You're going to win those clutch situations more often. It just makes sense. Like, just such a strong outlook. Like, so Luna, she has been a very, very strong player for Avant, and sitting here on the site as the only person on site, she can definitely hold it and it happen.
Now she's on a roaming roll. There's her cameras. Saw her place that earlier. And she'll know where things are coming from, but she's been droned out as well, so Fisher guy here to support. Looks like Luna does have the hatch to drop down if she so wishes. And that's also a Jackal scan, likely onto the Valkyrie herself. And here we have, once again, Lowkey very good at just taking map control. Flushing out players, and Avant happily obliges. They default back as needed, and Lowkey take the ground. And yet, Lowkey still haven't taken a round.
JC. Crosshair on someone, but unfortunately falls and not some of it. He's just going to hold the angle, but as you said, Avant just sitting pretty, being patient.
Oh, Luna!
There's the first frag of the round.
Her Valkyrie camera was taken down, but she's still going to do damage, and that's the Zofia player. And a fairly strong fragger in Mangoes.
Yep.
Off the table. Once again, Bundy, this support player. He's done some good work with these thermite charges. He always seems to find an opening where his thermite charges will be available, and now that Flossie is also flushed off of that position, he might not be able to deny this wall from being thermited. I said Bundy is just alone, doesn't have any support if he wishes to put himself in an exposed position to detonate a thermite charge.
Yeah, and while we'll pay attention to all that, Luna got dropped as well. Casper picked credit on her. Casper, though, he's going to potato a couple more shots as he gets taken out by Copper. Copper, though, did take half his health in Penance. Amen, sorry, should I? Bundy very slowly pushing his way in. We've come into the final 30 seconds. Bundy, what a shot! Flossie is going to have to sit down. But here comes the gas babes. Lowkey are going to have to force their way through that smoke. If they want to plant, they're going to have to rush it. Muesli's going to rush it straight past the bomb. Pushing his way through. Bundy with the diffuser from the side. Fisho with one. Vicious with a second. And Bundy now has found himself in a 1v2. He has to go for frags. 5 seconds left. He's going to run out of time. Vicious with the shotgun to the face. Avant come out with round number 5.
Lowkey really have to breathe deep because Avant are storming through this. That's 5 straight rounds. They're not letting up anytime soon. Just around the world. One bomb site. On to the next. On to the next. Revisiting these same bomb sites over and over, and Lowkey have no response.
Yeah, look, I really think that we are a team looking to come up against Avant the next, in a month when we our Pro League, have to take Villa off the board. It is very clear that Avant have put a lot of effort into the map. Because right now we are seeing a destruction of the third standing team.
My goodness, and what a performance from Copper and Luna in conjunction. Fisher Guy as well. I think it's good to see Fisher Guy back
I want to point
in
out,
this game.
Players of Avant, Copper and Luna have the same amount of kills as the entire Lowkey.
Gosh. Sometimes, well, I gotta say, again, I don't know if I'm a broken record or something, but Lowkey, they take good ground, and then part of their strategy tends to rely on whether it's taking below or taking above. The next step, after you've taken control of an area with a vertical relation to the bomb site, the next step is get picks. Like, if you wrote down this strat, the strat would be take X, take Y, look through these holes, and get picks. And the problem is Avant just, like, they're happy. They'll oblige when it comes to taking this ground. And then when it comes to that little bit of get picks, Avant are like, look.
Rather not.
Nah. Yeah, well, let's not do that. Let's leave the bomb site. You can't kill us through your holes looking into the bomb site if we're not on the bomb site. So let's play this smart. Oh, Lowkey also doing the same thing over and over again. I'm surely Avant are reading into this every single round. Oh, the IQ's jumped up on that window, but this is the round that's not going to work. Fisher guy, the roaming mute, terrorizing Lowkey. Not even a minute into the round, and one player who was meant to be the flank watch himself gets flanked.
What amazing timing on that run out, though, right? As soon as he heard the rappel down animation, Fisher was out the window. Right? Like, as soon as he heard that audio cue, he jumped out. No hesitation. And that was such a great move by Fisher guy. Didn't get hit by the Claymore either, so gets back in with his life. And he's going to be very happy with himself right there. And now with an IQ off the board, man advantage to Avant.
So far, Avant seem to be showing to us why they do have the fan favorites. As for the community vote, they were starkly in favour, 63% 37. I shouldn't say starkly. They were favoured. Bundy once again likely to get a successful thermite charge. Luna doesn't deny it, and loses her life for that with Mangoes on a strong peak.
Yeah,
now that it's a 4 versus 4, Lowkey 4 versus 3 now. Lowkey, this could be their opening finally.
Yeah, we're going to see the
impact frags.
We're going to see the shutout dream of Avant get torn up in pieces here. Lowkey, 4 versus 3. It's not out of Avant's control just yet. But Swassi is getting a little bit of gunfight. He has lost it. They need to start winning their gunfights as Bundy's just going to tear him a new one. Puts a round of lead into him. The plant's going to go down. Copper on the flank, though, could come in huge, but he's the last man left alive as JC puts Vicious down. Copper takes out Mangoes, though, but he still has 3 to find. Just going to have to slow down here a little bit.
What's Muesli doing? Surely he knew where he was, but Bundy on the long angle with the 5-5. Cleans him up. Takes off his head. Good round. Finally coming out for Lowkey. Took him 5, but at least they'll end this half with one singular round on the board.
Yeah, not a very good half there for Lowkey. 5-1, so Avant in the second half. They are on attack, and they're only chasing 2. 1 to draw, and 2 to take the map. Avant, Lowkey don't have a lot of room to...
Yeah, and they don't have the pulse either, so of course we don't have as much information for how Lowkey do prefer to defend, but now 6 pick onto the Valkyrie instead of the Maestro. So Valkyrie Pulse, very similar, a lot of overlap there, just, you know, intel gathering operators with a mobility and a C4, right? The idea is typically you're going to be running out or flanking or doing a C4 through the floor if you're playing those 2 operators. So a lot of overlap there, pulse band, so Bundy flexes over onto the Valkyrie instead. Now, how successful will it be? I mean, we're not seeing an IQ come out from the attacking roster. We've seen so much IQ today, and only some of the time has the IQ been enough to dismiss the Valkyrie altogether.
Well, I mean, IQ would have the double benefit of the Goose lines as well. So, and
triple benefit of the Vigil as well. So
yeah, so IQ is very powerful right now. I mean, we've seen IQ taken in rounds where there is literally just Valkyrie. So, I think bringing the IQ would be a choice, but of course, this is Avant's first attack round. Maybe they just don't like the IQ.
Maybe, and they do have a lot of other good counters as well. So, for example, to counter that Vigil, the Jackal will do the trick. To counter those Goo Mines, and sometimes those ADSs, you know, the Twitch, while risky, can do the job.
Exactly. And then just good old-fashioned eyesight can counter the Valkyrie.
If you're onto it, Copper bringing the PDW-9. Love that.
I do prefer taking that.
I love
taking that SMG myself.
Slap a suppressor on that thing, and it might not do much damage, but it sounds
Love
beautiful.
your
And, well, you just made it sound so good, Flea.
Not about how much damage you do, it's about how good you sound.
Bomb located by attacker.
Doesn't matter how much damage you do if you only tap heads.
Yeah, that's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, no. That's the piece of advice I give right before I fully potato someone and they're on 1 HP and I die. Now we should probably get back to this game. Of course, Statue and Trophy was taken for the first bomb site defense, counter to what is predictably seen, as we have mentioned before, Aviator Games Room. So Avant perhaps thrown off a little bit by this. How much we'll have to see. Hibana Pellet seems to be going off without any trouble.
I don't think they're going to be caught off guard too much by it. Like, it's just going to be one of those momentary things. Going to take out Copper, though. That's the first frag. JC is taking some damage on the retreat. And Bossy and Casper getting into a bit of an argument here. Casper's going to get concussed, he's going to get flashed, and he's going to make his way downstairs. Bundy, though, could be in a very strong position as Luna's made her way in. Bundy hasn't made himself known just yet. Bundy's on the floor. He's got crushed by Luna there. Bundy was in a spot where he could easily pick up 2 people, but just doesn't take advantage of it. Casper, though, could... They know one's down. Luna...
Oh, I saw. Luna saw Casper downstairs, but managed to successfully get the revive. Casper still playing safe. Gotta say, Lowkey are looking much more comfortable on their defense than their attack, but still, Avant are in it. JC taking Fisho out, but control over Astronomy firmly in the hands of Avant, with Luna pushing up. Still a player very aggressive, looking to push inside of Master. As well, Casper forced off. Mangoes takes down Flossie. JC as well, jumping into the fray, just vicious. Surely this isn't going to happen for the captain of Avant.
No, I can't see Vicious winning this, as Casper's going to put a bullet right through his skull, and Lowkey successfully defend their first defense.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row for them as well. I guess 2 rounds total in a row for them. They, it took going to Statue to win an attack, and now they've done the same on the defense. Lowkey have been showing some semblance of success, which is great. They looked much more comfortable on that defense compared to on their attacks, where they really looked like they were being read and the defense was being played. You have so much more flexibility in the defense compared to the attack. You know, you have so many questions on the attack. Is there a player in this room? It's, you know, it doesn't matter if a room is on the opposite side of the map to the bomb site. A player could be in there, and you have to drone it out. You have to take the initiative. You have to be careful when you're on your attack. Whereas on defense, sometimes you have a bit more freedom. You can take the risk.
That's something about the newer maps compared to the older ones. The older ones used to be quite linear. And you could set up drones during prep phase and literally negate whole sections of the map that you can drone. As long as your drone is holding that spot and no one run past, you know the rest of the area behind the drone has to be able to very quickly clear out whole sections of a map with very little investment put into it. But in the newer maps, you can't do that. Like, Villa is so filled with nooks, crannies, and places to hide, and so many ways to get there that you don't have that luxury afforded to you.
5 seconds to go.
Made the maps a lot better, in my opinion.
Now that we're on our attack for Avant as well, I'm a bit disappointed with the fact that they are not changing their attacking lineup the way that we saw them changing their defending lineup. Of course, you have an advantage on defense. You know what bomb site you're going to, whereas on the attack, you don't. So a lot of teams opt to bring versatile lineups. Still, a bit worrying for
that being said, this could be the
Avant.
lineup that they thought they were going to come with, right?
That's true. The lineup that they thought they were going to be attacking Aviator, and now that it's more likely to be Aviator, it would make sense that they would bring this lineup for it. Still, not a ton of forceful utility. Still, the Jackal should be helpful on this roam clear to counter that Vigil. We'll see how successful it is.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the question. How successful is that going to be? Avant taking their time here. Not looking to rush anything. Droning out, seeing what find. But they are losing their drones. Like, I don't feel like they're gaining a lot of meaningful ground right now. Forward, but scan coming out from Copper. Not going to find anything.
A lot of time gone, and really very, very little progress made by Avant. Very worrying. At least when Lowkey were on their attacks, they would... Oh, wow, okay, so strong crossfire set up. Now Luna pushing in, does find a refrag eventually. Fisher guy as well helping out, but there's finally some progress. It took hunting down the roamers to do it and losing one player, but there's a numbers advantage. Still not a lot of time.
Yeah, that was a big time investment. You know, 1 minute 45 of a 3-minute round. That's a big time investment that you have to put through to just those 2 men off site. Now they still need to get on and clear the site. Fisher guy looking to move in. It is Vicious with the diffuser. Going to open up some angles into the side here. Not find anything. Fisher putting a couple of shots through. Not hitting anything right now. Luna pre-firing as well. A lot of rounds coming out of the ends of the Avant weapons, but not hitting anything.
Really, this is worrying for Avant. 3 players left on the defense. They're in the minority, but they have such a strong position now. Luna holding off this rotation. She'll repel in, but will she get peeked? Oh, perfect timing for Mangoes on that peek. Luna looking in the complete wrong direction. Copper on the back of that gas canister, unable to peek through, but he does find one. Fisho as well. It's all up to Muesli. This round has been turned on its head.
Yeah, he certainly has. Muesli in a 1v3 situation. He's low on health, well, on about 26, 27 HP. Some pre-fires coming out. Copper's finally going to land the shot. Avant now put themselves onto match point.
It really felt like Lowkey were on the comeback, but it only took 1 buffer round on the attack for Avant to start feeling themselves much more comfortably on their pushes. And, well, it did take them a while on that one. I was worried for them, but they salvage it. Still Lowkey not out of this yet. However, they can no longer find a win on this side.
So draw now is the best that Lowkey can hope for. What they're going to be working for, they have to come up with 4 rounds in order to draw it in a row. Can't drop any of them. Avant, a single mistake, and Avant takes this.
Looks like those mistakes can occur on a moment's notice. Lowkey certainly have to make sure they have all their ducks in a row as they head to another defensive round.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
5th place at the moment for Lowkey, 7th for Avant. But that said, you know, the points was all very tight knit at this section in the ladder. It's Lowkey at 5, GRU and Avant trailing behind at 4, only 1 point behind. So, well, at best, Lowkey can draw this up 6-6, putting them onto 6 points on the ladder and Avant onto 5 and just staying ahead. But if Avant take this, then they'll leapfrog both Gentlemen on Underwear and Lowkey, put themselves that much closer to Darksided.
Yeah, that will... I think that this sorts of matchups are going to make the difference come at the end of the season, because I think Lowkey and Avant are going to be fairly close in, or at least fairly closely placed. So if we end up in a draw situation, through matchups here, this matchup is going to be important, and Avant is going to be strong as well. Avant could look to powerhouse their way through the second half of this.
Half a minute of the round gone. Art's still just working on entering in. Aviator Games Room bomb site again. Now, remember last round of Avant to take a very, very long time to push into the building, and when they eventually did, they were caught in crossfires between the roamers. Eventually they won the battle over that map control with just 1 number extra on their position. So it's still taking quite a long time. I think Copper has been the man to find the frags on the entry. He needs to be the one entering in, scanning these footprints and finding these angles with the PDW.
Avant, a really slow push here coming in from the master bedroom and the statue area and just way across. But I really think that Avant have taken it a lot slower than I think they need. Like, they could absolutely have taken this round a lot quicker.
Oh,
Mango's just with a very casual 1 minute 30 reinforcement.
I love that. I've seen that a few times before. Mango's once utility was being used by Avant to flush him off that position at 90. He decided, all right, look, better off. They have that position. They've wasted utility. See, now Flossie's completely out of explosives in his Viper Strike. Unable to take down that Maestro. It'll have to fall on Luna instead. Fortunately for Avant, they come prepared with a lot of soft breach. That's not too much trouble to take that down.
But 5v5. Did damage to Casper, but damage to Luna. And oh, Casper! What a flick on the Fisho guy. Picks him up, and he's just going to piece out. Flossie flashes him up a little bit there. Gets a bit of a fight and loses about a third of it. Hopper now going on the roam hunt. And out them feats. And Casper now fully exposed. 5 seconds left.
Play a lot more massively now, but the attack is stunning. Push into the bomb side. Flossie finds one before being traded. Just 15, 18 seconds. Time is falling apart. As does the Avant attack. Lowkey secure themselves a third round.
Yeah, Lowkey with a very solid defense there, and the clock just seems to be the big enemy of Avant, doesn't it? Like, Avant
Indeed.
just... It seems like they're losing so much time in the early section of the map.
And really, they need to take a leaf out of Lowkey's book if they want to start improving their time management. Lowkey, very comfortable and confident in taking that top floor. Of course, when Lowkey were attacking, Avant were less prone to be putting pressure upstairs, but even when there is almost no presence in the upstairs area, Avant still takes a minute and a half to take it. Hunting these roamers, I think, should be a priority, and I wouldn't mind seeing perhaps Flossie flex on over to a Dokkaebi, just put even more pressure onto those roamers. That said, the Ashes utility has been very useful. Maybe Fisho should switch over to the Dokkaebi, an operator I know he does like a lot.
Yeah, I don't think the Twitch as...
I mean, what's it going to counter? Like, right, you can't counter the mute jammers because mute's a Twitch counter, really, most of the time. You're essentially looking to take out ADSs and Legion Mines, and for Legion Mines, you really just got to kind of drone it out.
Like, IQ better pick. Like, I just think that...
Yeah.
I think that besides bringing the FAMAS...
I think that's what he's looking for, just the FAMAS, the killing power of the weapon.
5 seconds remaining.
Like, I just... Yeah, I really feel like there's better options for that Twitch, unless it is just a comfort pick. Bragging.
But, I mean, we've seen Fisho play Dokkaebi before. He's pretty good at it, and there you go. There's a Twitch drone gone. Mangoes swiftly deals with that. But worrisome for Avant. That said, they're on a match point, and they've guaranteed themselves the 1 point in the ladder. Surely they'll be wanting to get the 3 though.
Yeah.
By locking
Avant
another round.
start picking up some. They're a lot lower in the ladder when they want to be, but they can certainly push. They're going to want every single.
Flossie very comfortable, takes control of the walk-in, opening up some angles as well for him to use. Often, astronomy becomes one of the heaviest points of contention when attacking this bomb site, but in the past, Avant didn't have too much trouble taking control of it.
It really seems that Lowkey's defensive, but Avant can't do something about it. I don't know what it is that Avant are struggling with so much on this attack. But things coming out. Slowly seeing back around. The drones come out. The pre-fire comes around. Going to eventually take him out.
A lot of bullets.
That was a lot of bullets. JC with the flank comes up huge.
Takes out the player on the drone and another as well. Flossie almost taking out that the player behind the... JC! Alright then, mate. See you later, Flossie. JC warming up his trigger finger. 3 kills so far. Looking for some more. Luna entering into the basement. Struggle so far for Avant. Executing onto this bomb site. That said, even if they lose this, maybe a bit closer, but they'll be attacking a different bomb site. forcing Lowkey onto the less comfortable pick.
Yeah, it'll be the tertiary side if they...
I think that Lowkey feeling comfortable about this round. JC in particular.
JC
is very cautious of this angle.
JC has nutty. There is someone pushing. He knows someone's there. He's seeing him. No,
Oh,
Luna comes up massive. She manages to take out JC. Finally puts an end to that rampage. Now Luna and Vicious are slowly pushing their way in. There is someone in the back here. But the C4 from Mangoes. Bundy's going to pick up the kill credit. And Lowkey are putting us closer and closer to this draw. We are halfway there.
Certainly looking like a possibility for Lowkey. They only picked up 1 round in their first half, and it was right at the end. Whereas it only took Avant 1 round buffer to get back into the game on their attacks, but since then haven't managed to close it out. Now they're attacking Kitchen and locking in the same lineup. Come on, Fisho. I want to see that Dokkaebi.
Yeah, I don't think this Twitch is bought enough to warrant bringing the lineup, right? Like, I don't think the Twitch is bought enough to this composition. I don't think they've used her utility effectively.
No, not at all. And in fact, last round it was Fisho sitting on, I believe, a drone that actually got him killed.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Now this downstairs defense. Very similar lineup brought consistently by Lowkey. And look at that, JC in the past few rounds, striding ahead of the rest of his team by 5 kills over Bundy. 14 at the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah. Done a lot of work, hasn't he? Done a lot of work. Really carried things up. But it's kitchen trophy room. Sorry, the kitchen dining room. As Fisho is just going to...
Flossie!
Like,
Fisho.
What? He must have thought his drone got spotted. It didn't. He must have thought it.
I mean, I actually feel like that's the strat here for Avant. Like, the idea behind the Twitch pick is 1, you got a good gun, and 2, you're just trying to lit up defenders so that you can kill them in 2 hits instead of 3. Because, I mean, you look at any of the guns that do, 40-odd damage, that's about 80 damage once you rack up 2 shots, which means all you gotta do is land 2 hits with the Twitch and it makes it a 2-hit down instead of a 3-hit. Still, I don't think it's by any means worth it as a strategy. Just a theory as to what Avant are thinking.
Yeah, definitely. But they will be so upset with themselves if they let this get the way it does. If they let this game get away from them, hey. Like, if this goes to a draw, Avant are going to be absolutely gutted in themselves. But Fisho, he's going to do his part.
Oh my
god!
god!
The Lowkey members. Fisho's going to get a second one. No, it's Luna who picks up the kill credit for that. Here comes the flanks. Fisho finally gets himself a second. Wow! Just like that!
On their defensive half, Avant, it was their reads, time and time again, reading into the attacking and how they would push that got them the win. And look, it was this time a great read for a bomb site rush. I feel like I blinked and I missed it. And Avant take the W 7-4.
Yeah, that was a big round for Avant. They just pushed site and finally took it out. Hey, like, that was a solid round for them, where they just sort of picked up kills left, right, and center. Like,
a valiant effort from JC on the Lowkey side. He really gave his all in those final rounds to do his part. But like I said, great read from Avant in those final moments, just figuring out, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna push in to the bomb site. The bomb site. Oh yeah, because they're all roaming. Take out these few impact frags needed to clear out the bomb site, and everything from there's easy peasy.
yeah, it certainly was. It was